Greetings, greetings. Welcome to the Mercury Retrograde special for this very first Mercury Retrograde for 2022. I really wanted to do this video outside in nature. It's a very, very pretty day, but it's a very, very cold day. So I was going to get out and I was like, because if I get to talking and then I get cold, it's not a good look. So anyway, so this Mercury retrograde 2022, man, I feel like it's going to be a really, really powerful one, a very transformative one for a lot of people who really lean into it. I know when we hear the words Mercury retrograde, there's fear with that for a lot of people because it's like, okay, Lord, what's going to happen now? What kind of craziness or what kind of mishaps and what have you. But the thing about Mercury retrograde, and I'm going to explain what it is in a second, and then I will go into the actual discussion about Mercury retrograde of this year, of this first Mercury retrograde of 2022. And then I pulled some oracle cards. I haven't looked at them yet to give us some additional wisdom and guidance. But what was I saying? This Mercury retrograde, or Mercury retrogrades in general, yes, do come with, a sense of slowness, like this feeling like, like I'm trying to move faster than how the energy is allowing. And most people see this slowness like when it comes to traffic, right? You driving and people doing all kind of crazy stuff, or traffic not moving fast enough or whatever. But that's just a small example of what in general, is happening in a lot of in our lives, right? So Mercury is, in astrology, is the planet that represents your intellect, your, how you write, how you speak, how you process your thoughts, how we communicate, So one of the things that comes out a lot when there's a Mercury retrograde is that there's miscommunication, possibly because, somebody can say one thing, or you could read something one way, but it really reads another way. And really, again, the energy is just, the universe and how it is designed is so magnificent because it is a sign of what we should be doing, right? And so oftentimes it's so easy to just speed through everything and rush and not really understand why we make the choices we make, why we want what we want. It's easy to just kind of, especially in this time, this information age, because information is coming out so fast right now and so quickly that most people don't have time to process it. And the reason why, for those of you who are watching this on YouTube and you think you're gonna get the whole video, the reason why the bulk of this video is actually has a fee to it, and it's a very small fee, but it's something about when we invest in something, we slow down to really take in what it's saying. So because information is so free, and I'm sure there's tons of conversation right now about Mercury retrograde that's free, right? But most people will still be confused, and most people will still be like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And most people, will just be like, I don't even understand. Why? Because it's so much coming at us that, we don't have time to process. And sidebar, I've, heard people say, people don't take time to read, or people don't take time to do whatever, whatever. And while that might be true to a certain extent, what I'm really understanding is that people don't take the time to do certain things because it's just so much coming at us all the time. It's so much information that's being held in our heads. I'm still on point with Mercury. But it's so information that's being held in our heads that it is difficult to really assimilate and process and apply the information. So you almost have to invest in it in order to actually take it, to absorb it and apply it to your life. So Mercury is the planet of information. Mercury, again, it governs information, intellect, how you process information, communication, all of those sorts of things. And so when that planet that kind of that governs that in our lives goes retrograde, what that means is that from our perspective on Earth, when you look at a telescope up at the sky of Mercury, it looks like it's moving backwards. It's an optical illusion. Is not really moving backwards, but it appears to be slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, and then all of a sudden moving backwards. And it's during that time that astrologers for centuries have noticed that, there's a slowdown in communication, a slowdown in how information is processed, and so when this happens, it's a sign for us to slow down, read the fine print, whether it is a contract you're signing or whether it is just, you just need to really understand the details, right? Because it's so easy to just go through life and just do and do and do and do. But also to understand why you gravitate towards the information you like. Why do you believe what you believe, right? Because some of the information that we have processed is should have just remained as just information. It shouldn't be something that we should believe in or stake our whole lives on, right? And so, because again, information is so rapid and things are coming in sound bites, we're building whole societies, we're building whole belief systems, we're personal belief systems or social belief systems. We're building a whole lot of opinions on sound bites right now, whether it's sound bites in the news, sound bites you see on social media, sound bites on anything, sound bites on Mercury retrograde, right? So, oftentimes these sound bites can build up, and you have a whole belief system and a whole way of being, a whole way of going about your days and going about your life based off of a belief that you don't even understand where it came from, right? So this first Mercury retrograde of 2022 is a very powerful one, I believe, because I feel like it's one that's going to propel people to really move forward. Like it's going to, a lot of people may have like these aha moments during Mercury retrograde, like, aha, I know what I want to do with my life now. Oh, aha, I know where I want to go. I know what I want to do. I know what I want to achieve, or I know what I want to experience. It's not even so much about achievement, but I know what kind of life experience I want to have. And you're going to have these wild aha moments, but then you're going to be like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And then what's going to happen is, which is natural. I'm not speaking against it, definitely do this. But, then what can happen is, information overload, because now your mind is open and you know what you want to do, or you know how you want to proceed at this point in your life. And so you start researching and googling and looking at YouTube videos and seeing how other people did it and seeing this and seeing that, right? And it could lead to an information overload, because it's like you're desperately scrambling or trying to figure out how to take the next step towards the vision that you have in your mind. And then Mercury's retrograde, which is slowing down that process. So this retrograde is taking place in the sign, it's starting off in the sign of Aquarius, and then it will back up into the sign of Capricorn. So I'm going to talk about that, and then I'm going to reveal these cards about what is the main obstacle or challenge that we need to be aware of this Mercury retrograde. What is the general wisdom that this Mercury retrograde has for us? And then another card for empowerment. How do we move forward? So those of you who are in my Winter Alchemy 2022 program, the rest of this video you're already getting absolutely free. Anybody else who just wants to finish watching this video, you can click down in the description box and get access to the rest of it. Like I said, it's a small, it ain't gonna break you. It ain't gonna break you, But go ahead and do that at this time. So this Mercury retrograde begins in the sign of